Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mother, hold our hand, each one of our devotees. Take us across from unreal to real, from darkness of ignorance of not understanding to the wisdom of light and understanding. Take us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Jai Guru. Welcome everyone, devotees, and namaskar to all of you. I want to ask you something. Today, we're going to take it on slightly differently and a little bit. Okay? Tell me, if I ask you, do you see me? You will say, of course I can see you. I can hear you. I say, okay. Use your hand, use your finger to show where do you see me? Where do you see me? Are you with me? Where do you see me? You will point your finger at me, isn't it? So, these five senses is the one which is with which we are perceiving the world. The eyes, the ears for listening, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, fingers for touching and grasping, right? And the world is coming to us. The five senses are driving us away, because of which our mind is so disturbed. And we always think that it is the world which is reality is outside there, the out there. So where is Robbin Ghosh? There. There is where? That side, there. But look at it carefully. Remember your little science messages which you got in the school days? Are you seeing me outside of you? Or are you seeing me, perceiving me inside of you? See, light is falling upon me, and light is creating tiny, tiny particles of electricity and going and giving into your cornea, right? And through the cornea, the lenses, it is creating tiny, tiny particles of electricity and going to the brain. And the brain is sending tiny, tiny bits of electricity onto the mind. The mind, the brain, and the senses, did you know, has no power itself. What do you mean? My brain doesn't have power? Yes, my brain, my mind, my senses have no power. Not only mine, all of ours. Unless, example, unless you're conscious. You're consciously sitting here and you're focused, then only you can see me. Now, so it created into your mind, and that consciousness powered the mind, the brain, the senses for you to see me. So where are you seeing me? You're not seeing me out there, you're seeing me in here, inside your mind, inside your brain, inside your eyes, isn't it? Now, what is the implication? We are all the time trying to procure things, acquire things, the world which is out there. And we think our success, our happiness, our joy, our ananda, our bliss, our peace is out there. But it is not. Everything that you perceive, it is within you. Now, just think, today is the world of plenty. I think we are living in the most marvelous of time where everything is so easily available. You just press a button and you can call your brother, your friend, your sister across the Atlantic Ocean to United States just in a fraction of a second. Isn't it? Just think. You could. Just think. That perceiving just by just turning a knob or pressing a button, you get cool water to drink. Just 100 years ago, you and I had to take a big bucket or a jug on our head, or our mothers and ladies and sisters did it, or wives, walked across 100 miles, or maybe not 100 miles, must be 2, 3, 5 miles, 10 miles, to go across and fetch water for the whole day. Just think. Whereas today, what is it? It is just by press of a button. Press of a button, you can get that water. Isn't it the world of plentiful? And yet, we have the world of plentiful, but we are not certainly the generation of joyful and happiness. Why? Have you noticed how much we are suffering? How much we have sickness and disease and backache and headache and lower back pain and diabetes and spondylitis and heart attack and blood pressure and diabetes, not to forget that. It is all because we are trying to procure the world from out there towards us. But your joy, your happiness, your feeling of greatness is all within you. Today, the Western world is conquering the world outside, and India is also following pursuit closely. Number 3 right now. Just 220 years ago, India was the richest country in the world. Today, it is from down there, it's coming up. Great hats off to our leaders and our gurus and our spiritual masters that India has become number 3 in the world today, the financial. But now notice that plentiful Western world is getting it from out there. But India is the country which is in here. It's not out there. And this inner enhancement gets you and I plentiful. That, if I ask you, if I give you a choice, would you like to be very happy, blissful, in ananda, joy, or would you like to be miserable and sad? You will say, what a stupid question. Of course, happy and joyful. Certainly, if I ask you, do you wish to be, choice is yours. Do you wish to be very intelligent and sharp, or do you want to be dumb and can't comprehend? You say, of course, I want to be very sharp. But look at it carefully. Both joyful and happiness, or being very smart and intelligent, is in here. It's not out there. So the Western world, while procuring the material stuff from outside there, India, Bharat, is in here. And this is why India is shooting ahead. And as for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, shift is happening. This is there on YouTube. Would like to look at it. Saying 2024, right now, till 2028, India is going to go ahead and shoot forward as one of the major power, possibly number 1 in the world. You and I have the luckiest and plentiful time. But that happiness and joy is not just money out there. It's the inner bliss, it's the happiness, and it is within. But we are searching it out there. My session today is to tell you, when I ask you, where am I? You point at it with me because you think I am here. You're seeing me here. No, sir. No, ma'am. You are seeing me, dear devotee, in you, within you. You're hearing me within you. Everything in the universe which you perceive, which you experience, is within you, not out there. Isn't it? Just think of it. That, supposing you're sitting there, okay? Just imagine. You're sitting there and supposing there a dinosaur, a gorilla is right up there above your head. above your head, but you don't know it. You don't see it. You haven't perceived it. Because you have not perceived, you have not seen it, you have not experienced it within you, you are ignorant about it. So everything that you are not experiencing, as far as you are concerned, it does not exist. The dinosaur, the gorilla does not exist. It may be ready, waiting to pounce upon you, but it doesn't exist because you are not perceiving it. Now, this perception, this realization is not like the Western world out there. It is like the ancient India is within here. It's like a gentle breeze. It's like the greatness of your heart expansion when you see a wonderful, magnificent mountain, snow-clad, and beautiful rivers and ocean, and your heart expands. Where do you perceive it? It's within you. It's not out there. Yes, you're perceiving it with your five senses, but bringing it within you to perceive. Now, why is it we are like this? You would like to know. And you would love to feel blissful and happy. Very simple, not complicated. You know what has happened? There's a father who was working in the town, but transferred from village. Family is still in the living village near a forest, and not very advanced village. A little earlier, few days ago, few years ago, few decades ago. Just imagine it. Just imagine to understand the meaning of the moral of the story. Now, father comes back on a weekend or a holiday and comes and tells son, come on, I'll take you for a movie today. Naturally, father wanted to entertain son. Son is jumping, father is here, and they eat and they say, okay, now let's go. And then while going, maybe going in a cycle, and he explains to his son, you know, when you go to the picture hall, cinema hall, you will see a white big screen, nothing there. And little later, you will see a little light from top of your head is falling onto that screen. And then you will see a picture. Maybe Mahabharata. Maybe it is, I'm just telling you which one. Father must have told him. But imagine, maybe it is Mahabharata is explaining Krishna and Arjuna. Or maybe it is Avatar, the latest craze for everybody. And he tells him, this is how you're going to see the Avatar. And this is how the pictures will come. It's enormous fun. It's very engrossing. Son is enamored. He's waiting to see it. Now what happens is, when they go to the picture hall, picture has already started. So when the son in the dark room walk in and sit down on the chair and turn around to look, picture is already running. And he is naturally awed and looks at that picture. And after a while, the son suddenly realizes. Son says, Dad. Father says, what? He said, Dad, you told me that there is a white screen. Where is the white screen? Father said, there in front of you. He said, where? That girl who is with a bow and arrow, imagine Avatar movie, is shooting, trying to shoot. He said, no, behind her. Behind her. Oh, you mean to say that man who's going to be that, who's trying to walk around and trying to feel around. That's the Avatar story. You must have seen it. Dad said, no, behind him. Behind him. Oh, you mean to say that leopard-looking animal which is trying to pounce upon, attack them? He said, no, behind him. Behind him. That must be the mountain, those trees, the plants. How is the father going to explain to son while the picture is running, where is the white screen? Are you with me? See the impossibility? So what the message? Message is when you and I are born, our movie has already started. So we cannot comprehend. We understand the world out there, but we are not understanding the world within. Why? because that inner understanding of this compassion, this feeling, soaking it in, is not understood by us. So, we are going to share with you, understand that the land Bharat is the consciousness with which you have to let it seep into you. You have to make it your internal process. You have to learn to be still, to be silent. And that is how you're going to experience your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, your aspiration, your happiness, your joy, your sadness, your misery too, and your glory and your success and brilliance of ecstasy. When you're very happy, when you're calm and peaceful, you're very happy. Have you realized yesterday was the Valentine's Day? What is Valentine's Day? The love. What is love? Love is not a boy or a man or an opposite sex or gender. Love is you. You in a quiet, tranquil, peaceful mind where the whole world looks to you peaceful and happy. So whether it's a man or a woman, depending on you and the happiness, you'll feel beautiful, great. But if you're in miserable state and your turbulent state of mind, you will not find whether Valentine's Day or yesterday was also Saraswati Puja Day or Saraswati Puja Day. You're not going to enjoy that. Why? Because you're inner turbulent. So yours and my gentle idea is, dear devotee, is to bring that inner calmness and quiet, in which we're going to cover a very simple shloka Shankaracharya and tell you Patanjali Yoga Sutra, just the simple 8 forms, and just give you the name. I'll explain to you in detail. So the consciousness and objects out there. You saw me as an object. I'm out there. But your consciousness made you see me through your 5 senses. Shankaracharya is quoting one beautiful Tamaha prakasaha va viruddhya savavaha. Meaning that consciousness and objects are opposites of each other and as distinct as light and darkness, as viruddhya, as tamaha prakasaha. You know, by simple Sanskrit, it means the darkness and the light. It's as opposite. And this objects and consciousness is battling between you and me. Why? Because our world is already started. Let's get on to 8 limbs to reach samadhi state. First is yama, then niyama, then asana, then pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and eventually samadhi. These are the 8 limbs. Let's run through and look at it little carefully. Yamaha. These are basically the disciplines of the body. And it's talking about Niyamaha is body, Yamaha is the mind. And mind is the more powerful than the body, which rules the mind is ruling the body. Remember a little while ago I told you, love is what? Your being in happiness and joy, tranquility. You find everything lovely and happy. So the first in Yamaha is ahimsa, non-violence, satya, truthfulness, purity. Remember, Mundaka Upanishad says, satya meva jayate, truth alone will make you win. Then third is ashteya. Ashteya is non-stealing, not taking other things without telling them. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is chastity and controlling over mind and the body. And then is aparigraha, non-collections of enormous things. And let's run through just the niyamaha. Niyamaha is the controlling of your body. Sauchaha, cleanliness. Cleanliness of the body, like taking bath, brushing your teeth, outside and inside. That is also sauchaha. So, sauchaha, santosha, being contented, happy, joyful. And tapas, that is Simple is penance. Fasting, we love to fast. And swadhyaya, self-study. Study of your own mind by being still. Study by listening. Remember, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Vedantic learning. Shravanam, listening. And this is what it means. Is swadhyaya. And study of your mind, study of your text, by listening to great teaching. You can do it from YouTube today and Google and the great gurus. And then the last one is Ishvara Pranidhana. Just surrender to the supreme, this nature. Call it God. I want you to understand one little joke. There is a great monk who in United States was giving a talk to an organization, and he was telling a joke. And in that joke, he said, once God came and everybody asked him. The moment he said him, 4 or 5 ladies stood up and said, "You mean to say God is only a man? God is a man?" He said, no, listen, I'm just telling you a joke. No, joke or no joke. You said him. That means God is only a man? So in America, it is going on. God is white or God is black. God is man or God is woman. In India, it is both. So, Ardhanarishwara. So you have goddesses in Durga Mata, Kali Mata, Saraswati Mata, yesterday with the puja, and Lakshmi Mata and so many mothers. And you have also Krishna and Shiva. God is a man, God is a woman. In India, God can be a cow. God can be a monkey. God can be a tortoise. Remember? Kurma avatar. God can be a fish. Matsya avatar. God can be a pig. Remember Varaha avatar? 9 avatars. I'll touch upon it more on the Sunday. You have fun. Think about some good questions. Remember, you are the Purnam. Purnamada, Purnamidam. Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasa Purnamadaya. Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.